Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on matching equal groups. The idea of matching equal groups is a continuation of the earlier lesson we did on one-to-one correspondence. Students are given unequal groups and they are asked to make the groups equal by adding items to the smaller group. Excuse me. Let's look at this example. Add the correct number of worms to the second group to make the two groups equal. So here we have 6 fish in the first group and 4 worms in the second group. How many worms did you need to add to the second group? And after some discussion and some guidance from the teacher, I'm sure the students will be able to say that they added 2 worms. Here's another example. Make 2 groups from the following 12 marbles so that the 2 groups have the same number of marbles. How many marbles are now in each group? And the teacher will be able to guide the students through this. Firstly, the most important thing is to work out that there are actually 12 in there, so you get the students to count them, and then they would divide them out one by one so that they have an equal number in each group. And I'm sure if they do it correctly, they'll find out that there are 6 marbles in each group. Another example, share the following apples equally between Tom, Jim and Sue. How many apples do they get together? Okay, so do they get each? So how many apples do they get each? So basically the trick is to start with 1 apple. So you'd be guiding the students through the process. You would say, start with this apple and put it there. This apple, put it here, and this apple, put it there. So far we have 3 apples. Then you keep going through, and when you finish, the students can count up how many apples each of the people receive. Another example, from the following groups of pairs, make 5 equal groups. So how many pairs are there in each group? So basically the students would be guided to have a group 1, a group 2, group 3, group 4. So that'd be the first instruction to help them realize they have to have 5 groups set out like that. They start with the first pair, put it in that group. The next pair in this group. The next one in group 3, the next one in group 4, and the next one in group 5. And they'd keep going until they run out of pairs, and then you would find out how many pairs are there in each group. Remember, there are 5 groups. Now, if you made 4 equal groups, how many would there be in each group? So it's the same type of exercise, except this time you only have 4 equal groups, so you guide them through the same process. This one here is a very interesting one. You would start again and you guide the students to have 3 equal groups. Okay, so if you tried, this is the clue, if you tried to make 3 equal groups, how many would there be in each group and how many pairs are left over? So there's a hint here that there are some pairs left over. So guide them through carefully by just saying to them, okay, we have group 1, group 2, and group 3. So we only have 3 groups, and you share the pairs out equally, 1, 2, 3. Remember, by just going along the line as we did before, and then you can answer that last question. This is a little bit advanced, but it'd be very interesting, and it'll point out to students that when you have an initial group, you can't always share it out equally. Sometimes there are pairs left over. So it's just a continuation of the earlier lesson we did on one-to-one correspondence, and students are starting to learn how to share items from an initial group. Sometimes you can share them equally, and sometimes you have items left over.